Hey guys, it's Andy Fry, the author of the Consultant's Code. So last show we talked about the four pillars of the Consultant's Code. So we talked about intelligence, effort, intent, and likability. So those are our four pillars. So if we think of those as being pillars that are going to support our structure of our career, we're going to carry on today about being a generalist or a specialist. So there's a couple things with specialists and generalists. One thing is common today is where people are telling other people to just become a specialist. And I think that people should become specialists. I think that specialists has a tremendous amounts of advantages. Some of those advantages are you get paid better, you get paid more. Often you don't have to learn as much information once you get there because you're maintaining that specialist quality, that level. And so what happens is you can repeat the process multiple times, which makes you even better. And so as long as you can keep up with that specialist information that's coming and changing in your area, then you can maintain that level. However, the one thing that I don't like today, because everybody today is pushing everybody to become a specialist, is where people have not built the generalist skills. And I'm going to talk today about general skills versus specialized skills. So one of the things with the general skills is that, and actually take a step back, one of the things that I've learned over my life is that most people generalize and then they specialize, and then they'll generalize and then they'll specialize. And this is the common flow throughout people's careers. And so if we think of ourselves graduating from high school, so we graduate from high school and we're really a generalist, right? We have general skills and we have the same skills as every other high school graduate. And so then what happens is we go on to college or university or trade school, wherever we're going, or we go choose to work, whatever you choose to do. But once you make that choice, what do they ask you? You know, if you go on to college, you start to pick a major, right? You're starting to specialize. You're narrowing it down. Are you in education or are you in engineering? Are you in computer science or are you in mathematics? What is it that you're doing? You're now starting to specialize. You're starting to pick something that's different than everyone else. So now you've specialized. What happens when you graduate from college, right, is that you go out to the real world and you get a job. And normally what they do is you really have very little skills to be able to execute your job. So again, they give you something basic to do, which then allows you to become a specialist. Once you do that really well, they move you on to something else and you build your general skills. So this is kind of the routine that goes on and on and on. Now, the reason why I said, today it concerns me where people say, hey, just go out and specialize, is that you need to build those general foundational skills, right? When you graduated from high school, if somebody graduates from high school, they've completed the minimum requirements to graduate from high school from their state. So what happens is that's their general foundation. And when I talk about the pillars, the general skills is really the foundation. If we think of it being a house or a building, the foundation, right? The concrete, right? That's built around pillars, right? The structure of a building. Often those are not very pretty, right? But we need them. The house comes tumbling down real quick if the foundation is not strong, right? If you need to drive pillars into the earth, just like our four pillars, right, to support your structure. If you live in an area where you need pillars into the ground, you need to do that. Otherwise, the house comes tumbling down. So these are important to build on. Now, the general skills are things that you can always fall back on. I believe people should become specialists, but you need to build those general skills. So those general skills now are really built around our pillars. Our foundation now is built, right? It's strong. We have our skills. Now we can work on specializing. And if we think of specializing, that's really where we say, I'm going to be a U.S. tax accountant. I'm going to be an investment banker. I'm going to focus on investment banking in a particular industry. Now what happens is you're focusing on specific things. And in the consulting world, now you're saying, I am going to focus on a particular application, or I'm going to focus on teaching particular software, or I'm going to focus on developing with certain languages, right? Those are the things that now you start to specialize in. You can always come back to your general skills to learn something else. You fall back to that, and then you build back up. You fall back, you build back up. Now, as you specialize, you can build from there as well. So we're always trying to build. And if I think of a nice house, if you go into a nice house, what are the selling features, right? The selling features of a nice house are the granite countertops, right? The nice cabinets, right? The beautiful master bath, right? The walk-in closets. That's all specialty stuff. That's what sells the house. So again, when you specialize, that's what sells you. You're going to make more money, right? You're going to be in demand in the areas that you're in, right? But that specialization, right? That granite countertop needs to be put on top of a wooden box, which is the island, right? That holds it up. If you've ever seen an island before that granite countertop goes on, it's not very pretty. It's a wooden structure, right? That is leveled off. It even has shims in there because they got to get it level. And then they put the granite countertop in. Once that granite countertop in, man, it looks like $1 million. Before it goes on in, minutes before, it looks like a wooden box, right? But that wooden box is required to hold up that weight of that structure, the weight of the granite, so that they can sell that house for more money. That's the purpose, right? But that granite still has to serve a purpose. It still has to be functional. It still has to do its job. And that's what specialization is. Specialization is that granite countertop. That granite countertop still needs to work. So one of the challenges, again, as you go throughout your career, and if you choose to be a specialist, which I encourage most consultants to do, but if you choose to be a specialist, is you have to be aware of changes in your market. So as you specialize, and this is the danger if you don't have those general skills, technology will change. There's no doubt about it, right? I've seen so many changes in my life. Younger consultants, younger people getting into consulting, younger people getting into the workforce, you're going to see a tremendous amount of change. And information is changing. They estimate, I forget by what year, but it's off the top of my head, but information will change daily. So information will double daily, and that's not far off. So what'll happen is there'll be tremendous amounts of changes. So you need to build those skills that you can come back to your general skills and build back up, or what they call pivoting, pivot from your specialist skills into something else. But again, that's going to be supported by your general skills. So as you become a generalist, you need to take time and spend time educating yourself, maintaining your skills, knowing what changes are in your area so that you can become better at it. Your general skills need to be strong. That's your structure. Now, I had a long discussion one time with somebody where they kept saying, no, just go specialize, go specialize. I said, look, you need to have the general skills. And I thought about the story, and was it Days of Thunder? Was that the movie with Tom Cruise? Probably a lot of people watching this are quite a bit younger and probably have never seen it. But the storyline is that he's a NASCAR race car driver, and he's a fantastic race car driver. But as he's driving the car, he's saying something's wrong, and the pit crew is asking him while he's driving it to tell him what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on because he doesn't understand how engines work. He doesn't understand the mechanics of a car. Now, that's the general skills, right? If you're a race car driver, it isn't just about driving the car. It's about being able to communicate back and understand how the car is structured, how it works, how it's built, right? So that you can make it better and work with your mechanics and your engineers and your pit crew, right? That seems logical. Well, your general skills are the same thing, right? It's still the same thing. You need to build those general skills. And you may, throughout your career, I shouldn't say you may, you will throughout your career, have to go back and build up those general skills. No different than you need to fix the roof sometimes on your house, or you need to fix some foundational problems that occur in your house. Once that structure is there for a while, you need to go in and fix some things because there's wear and tear. Just like in your career, there's going to be wear and tear on your knowledge. Things change. You forget things. You need to add pieces. But that's the difference between general and specialized skills. So again, build up your general skills. I always say that the greatest tax accountants in the United States who make phenomenal amounts of money are still accountants, right? They still can do accounting. They still went through that process of building those skills, right? The greatest detective is still a cop, right? They still built those skills, right? They built those skills and they're able to build on those. So those are the things that we want to do. So again, all this stuff is about you being great. Please watch future videos, subscribe, or sign up, and I'll send them to your email. But I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope you put these lessons into practice. If you have any questions, email me. Again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And if you'd like to reach me, please contact me at andy@theconsultingplaybook.com. I'd love to read your comments.